since we have been here on a live, which is pretty crazy. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me just double check this stream's going. Yeah, we're going. Perfect. So it's been a while. Uh, I learned that it was really hard to trade two strategies and live stream and entertain. So I took a little break. I got some few payouts trading through our trading system. Now we're back. We're coming back with a little bit different of a swing here, though. Our focus is going to be on a little lighter. I'm doing more monthly forecasts. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to be active traders. A lot of you who already have followed me on this channel. For those of you that are, follow me on X, links in the description. For those of you who are just kind of looking for maybe some hot stocks, I don't know where to buy, I don't really know where to sell, you're more than welcome to follow me on those channels. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but those channels are going to give you a really good idea of where buyers and sellers are in the market. So, for example, we have Tesla right now. Tesla's hot. Should you buy Tesla? XRP's hot. UNH, you're probably hearing a lot about UNH. I have charted all of these. Palantir, Palantir's another one. I've charted all of these and I've given you the buy prices of where aggressive, medium, and like lower sentiment buyers are. Basically, the aggressive buyers are going to be a little bit more fragile, whereas the people looking for value are going to be really aggressive in the value area. Anyways, you don't need to know that. If you click on my trading view, which let me see, this is my trading view. If you were to click on, let me see here, we can go on any one of these layouts, it doesn't really matter. If we were to go on my profile, you'll see that I have published tons of articles. Ethereum, XRP, Meta, Microsoft. We hit a lot of these already. A lot of good prices, a lot of good. This is for someone else. We hit Doge already. We found the buyers perfectly with Doge right now during this week. Bounced right off where we thought those buyers are. We got SoFi here. We got Palantir, which I think is a bubble. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it is a bubble. I don't think we're done buying yet, but I think it's a bubble. So if you're interested in, maybe you want to get in, we call the Robinhood very early. Check this Robinhood trade out. It's crazy. We called that the buyers would be right down here at this 34 level before a huge pump. And if you look, we nailed it. We found exactly where those extreme buyers were. We were able to capitalize on that, and then just a huge breakout on Robinhood, right? So prices like that, we talk about Robinhood again. So if you're interested at all, please give my trading view a look. Now, for those of you that aren't, you just maybe want to pop a little video. I'm taking a few stocks a week. You can check out my YouTube. But in the meantime, let's talk about the short-term futures trades we took. Our algo did excellent this week. It was unbelievable how well our system did. Just to take a little look, as a little recap though, Monday, nothing notable besides I actually messed up my own system. We took a really good trade here. I posted this one on X Live, and then this was a trap trade where sellers were trapped, but it was just out of context, and I took it, like I said, but it was a misread. So these trades were actual trades that the system took, but because I was in this long, I didn't actually take these shorts. So we ended up holding this long for a small loss. I think we sold it right here. So just a little bit of a loss here, but it wasn't too bad. Still manageable, but my system took 64 points out Monday. Let's look at Tuesday. Tuesday, we had a really big bearish move, especially compared to with how tiny that range is here. You look over here at this big range. So how were we able to capitalize? Well, we were able to identify a strong seller early on right here. These sellers right here were very strong. Now, typically when you get a good move, I mean, these sellers were strong too, but with how strong previous buyers were, it's really tough to tell if this is going to follow through or not. But as soon as we got some confirmation, we were able to capitalize. We took our entry here, got a nice little one-to-one trade. I like trading one-to-ones with the system. It does really well with one-to-ones. And then we took another amplified short here for 33 points. So we took 49 there, 33 here, and then another trade for 29. So the total for the day, we took 112 points off the NASDAQ. For those of you that aren't familiar, per micro, that's about $240. Per mini, that's $2,400. Some of these guys are trading, a lot of the times you're seeing those headlines. Uh, you're seeing crazy headlines actually, like made 46,000 this week or something stupid, right? Like that's what it is. Um, so it's interesting to note though that people who do that are usually, not all the time, but usually they're trading like 20 prop firm accounts. So really they'll make like $1,000 on one, but they'll say 20,000, right? So we were able to take out 2,400 with just one account. This would have been like a headline of 48,000 on one of their headlines. So pretty good day today on that one. Now this was a monster day. Well, actually, was it? Was he 20? Oh, you know what? So we actually took this. This was the monster day. The next day is monster day. This was a bit of an umbrella trade. If you guys follow me, you're probably familiar with the umbrella trades. But what had happened is we found some strong buyers here. They took out this previous sellers. We were expecting a continuation, almost got stopped out. But those buyers hung on for dear life, these buyers right here, and they continued up. We're able to find and secure a couple more buyers here. Expected a little bit more of a one, and then these buyers here just couldn't hold on. So we ended up losing on a couple, taking profit on a couple. I actually somehow, I don't know how I did it. I think I put a little bit looser of a stop on mine. I think it was on this trade. I put a little looser of a stop. It was either this one or, oh, that's right, because we had that data come out. So I think I loosened up my stop a little bit with the data. I do not recommend that at all. It's a horrible decision to do. But just considering news, I kind of knew where the levels were. I knew where like extra supply was. So I was able to actually profit on this third trade, but I did get stopped out on this one. So pretty crazy, wild move here, though. This was just unbelievable. And now for our golden ticket winner here. I called this one out as well as all the other trades on X. This was just unbelievable. Huge aggressive selling here, followed by another leg, and we entered in on this other leg. Buyers are still selling really aggressive into the close, so we ended up taking an entry right here at 540, and we had a really wide stop, but we found a couple more entries in these areas for a total of, what is that, 300, 400 points, which was just astronomical. And then we took a 17-point loss, so a 388-point day for our system. That is just unbelievable, taking 388 points off the market. So really happy with that result. We took all these trades on our accounts live, so that was really nice. Moving on to Friday, we had a couple more trades here. Bit of a chop day, right? You had a lot of down, up, down. We're able to identify a couple aggressive sellers here, and we're able to capitalize on that. Bottom ticked it, which is really nice. The tricky with bottom ticking stuff on your live accounts though is sometimes your broker doesn't always give you the fills. So this could be a little bit tricky. This could have possibly not been a fill for everybody, but we see that risk to reward was 1-to-1. We took the measurement, it was perfect. So that was really nice. We ended up getting stopped out up here on a trap on this. We were assuming bulls were trapped in this area, but it just wasn't enough. Ended up getting stopped out and then ran. So almost another good trade, very close. And then we found a lot of strong aggressive sellers here. The problem is you're looking at these buyers versus these sellers. Now, how do you suppose we figure out who's stronger? This is where your indicators come into play. You can use relative strength, you could use delta, you can use all kinds of different things to kind of give you an edge on, are these sellers stronger than these buyers? For us, we're able to identify this with our system, so I don't even worry about it. But those are some things to consider on your own trades as you start to see people maybe step in. So again, we were able to identify real sellers, but we didn't take our trade until right here. We wanted to see a little bit more aggression by these buyers and able to take a 67 points off that trade. And then that was it for our system that day. No more trades. So a weekly total of 600 points. That's $120,000 a week on one. Wait, am I saying that right? $120,000? 12 $12,000 a week on a mini. Just an unbelievable week for the system here. So again, that was our weekly recap. We're going to be doing these more often, which is awesome. I'm stoked. Again, follow me on X if you're looking for these call outs. And we also have all these articles. I'm telling you, crypto's hot right now. What's Ethereum going to do in these next couple days? We ended up catching a bidder up there, which was really nice, where we called the bounce on XRP. We identified those strong buyers before they happened. So even though it doesn't necessarily look like it because of that, but this is exactly where the buyers were. So even though they cracked them, this is still where the channel of buyers are, right here in this pocket. Sometimes when you get a catalyst like tariffs, the momentum can really slay open, but eventually they get caught up. So we're expecting still this play to go through. That's why I put a wide stop here, because I was expecting some kind of crazy volatile sweep action. So I give it a little bit more, but I advise people if they didn't want to play it that aggressive, they could put a stop like a 286 or 288, and that would have been viable. Honestly, take the stop on that. You don't want to keep holding this all the way down. Some of your ICT people maybe would have taken some trades down here at this lowest fair value gap down here or something, but we were able to identify those strong buyers early on. Lastly, let's see. So since we're catching buyers on crypto, it's not over yet. Doge is one that I just charted. It was probably one of the last ones since we called out those buyers, these strong buyers, we still have these new sellers we have to get through, and then an extremely strong seller here. This is why it's our first take profit for our trading setup. It's an extremely strong seller, and for some of you, this is going to be good enough. A 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Our entry was down there. We called that on X. This is fine because you're not going to have to waste some drawback. This could be weeks of time, could be a month of time before we start catching bid up again. So if you can get this hot reaction, maybe you want to let your money be a little bit more liquid, a little bit more aggressive. Popping down, you're going to catch bidders. It just takes time. But eventually, I think if Doge can hold on, and I'm not a crypto guy. I'm not like I don't usually chart crypto. My stock's the world of stocks. But this theory of finding these demand areas and supply areas works really well with crypto as well. So we have all of these charted out. Again, all these levels are marked. I have all of the trade ideas done. We have your buy prices already charted out for you. So if you're interested at all, follow us on TradingView. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. Our recap, nothing crazy. A nice week. We're looking forward. It looks like futures are up right now. That can change quickly, especially getting back up to this these sellers up here. So as soon as it gets up to here, if we catch some real supply, we can get a huge rejection. So even with crypto, even though we found buyers, really we need to see how strong are they? What's their conviction? So all of that we're going to wrap up. We're going to get into. So thanks guys for joining.